Okay, this video is called From Mouth to Mitochondria. This is part one. I'm going to divide it up into these parts. We'll do mouth, then gut, liver, spleen, blood, endothelial cell. I'm going to go in an anatomic progression from when you eat a piece of food till it's processed by your mitochondria. And then potentially, if I got enough enthusiasm, I'll go through some of these other things real quick. These are just going to be fast verbal lectures. These are almost like podcasts in the sense that I'm just going to talk about things. I don't have any pictures here. It takes me a ton of time. When I come home from work, I don't got a lot of time. I got to, eat dinner and go back to work the next day. When I got a day off, I got more time. Most of the time I'm working on a book. I've made lectures about all of this stuff before in numerous detail. This channel's got about 7,200 lectures, and I would say about half of them, or not quite half of them, are originals. The other half are repeats. I repeat a lot of times the shorts because the only reason I run the shorts is because people watch them. I think the shorts are real brief, and it's really the long form videos where the interesting information is, and in the playlists where you get all the good info. So I'm going to talk about the mouth here in this session. And basically, I wrote an entire book on the mouth, Prevent and Reverse Dental Disease, and then I have a playlist of videos about dental. And probably my best lectures on dental would be the 3 over at VegSource. So you can go there for all the long form. So basically here, let's go to the next slide, which organizes the topics for the mouth. So basically your teeth are like a horse. They're flat. Okay, mine are a little bit not as sparkling white as you'd like because, I'll eat a lot of fruits and stuff that stain them. In addition, I don't like those whitener agents because they're very oxidized and they bleach. They can be toxic to your tooth, so I don't use them. I don't use any toothpaste, by the way. I just brush at night with a brush to get the biofilms off there because the bacteria have to be attached to your tooth in order to cause a cavity. They ingest a sugar, convert it through glycolysis into lactic acid, expel the lactic acid, the proton, and then that acid expelled onto your tooth burns a hole in your tooth. So if you brush the tooth, get the bacteria off the tooth, it can't cause a cavity. And you don't even need the toothpaste. Toothpaste is full of toxic chemicals. Fluoride, for example, is rat poison. It should not be in your tap water. It should not be in toothpaste. It should not be used for dental cleanings. All that stuff about it being protective for cavities is suspect at best. A lot of the best people who've researched it believe it has no benefit whatsoever for the tooth. Some say it has a little benefit in cavity protection. But the idea of ingesting it is ridiculous because then it's absorbed into your body. It's the highest electronegativity of any chemical in the whole periodic table of elements, meaning that electronegativity is desire to grab electrons, to steal electrons. Well, that's one of the definitions of a pathogen, is an electron stealer. It steals electrons and it doesn't give them back. And you can confirm that by looking at the vertical table of the periodic chart of elements, halogens. They all kill stuff. Fluoride, iodine, chloride, bromine. They're all antiseptics, okay? They're all freaking toxic. So you don't want to use it. Believe me, the more you learn about it. And you'll say, well, the dentist said it was good. Most dentists are idiots, okay? Most dentists have mercury poisoning in their brains and they're stupid. I'm sorry, but it's true, okay? They really don't learn much in dental school other than to be like a mechanic on fixing a tooth. But they don't learn almost anything about the materials that they work with. That's not a joke. I studied dentistry in great detail. It's kind of sad and pathetic. And then MDs don't know anything about the mouth. It's just like not included in the curriculum. Okay, so you really want to take good care of your teeth because dentistry has almost nothing to offer. So you don't want to eat anything sweet, really sweet. You don't want to avoid, especially a processed food, you want to avoid anything real acidic. Like the worst is soda pop. Soda pop because it's real sticky, sticks to your tooth, and it's highly acidic, and it's full of sugar. Okay, it's bad in every way. The amalgams that they put in are 50% mercury, major poison. Mercury is super toxic. I've given entire lectures on the subject. It's as toxic as a thing could be. It's ridiculous to put it into amalgams. Okay, I would rather have a tooth pulled than put an amalgam in. Okay. You don't want, if you have amalgams, and a lot of people do, you don't want to brush over them because then you stir up more mercury. You don't want to hold yourself on your face. You stir up more mercury. You don't want fluoride toothpaste. That stirs up more mercury from them because they outcast. They release a mercury vapor into your mouth. You inhale some of that. You swallow some of that. It's all bad. And I even go through the lectures on how some people believe that's a significant causative agent with regard to neurodegenerative disease and with regard to multiple sclerosis. And guys like Hal Huggins and Robert Gamal, they remove them, and they said they've seen a lot of patients with MS improve. Okay, root canals are bad. They're always infected. 100% of them are always infected. It's impossible to sterilize the tooth. Again, if you got one, what do? If you're young and healthy, you might want to keep it, but if you're having health problems, I would get it pulled. I would not replace it with anything. People say, oh, well, also if I pull my amalgam, should I replace it with anything? I would not. I would just pull the tooth. Now you say, how could I say that? I'm so Philistine. Don't I have any appreciation whatsoever for dentistry? And I'll tell you is that they just don't seem to care about the toxicology of their materials. Like they'll tell you, oh, we'll put some composite or porcelain type thing in that's going to turn out to be a lot of plastic. And then it's not going to be one thing. It's going to also have something toxic in it like aluminum oxide. Aluminum's a major brain toxin. Okay, so anyways, then they'll say, well, why don't you just put in plastic? I'm like, oh, well, the plastic isn't durable enough. Okay, well, I'd rather have the plastic replaced every couple of years than, put these toxic metals in there. And then you worry about microplastics as well. The best dental site, if you want to go to the best dental book and the best dental website I found on the internet, it would be Robert Gamal's Real Dental Info. He tells the truth. He's a little bit crazy like all these dentists. He had chronic mercury toxin himself. If you go to IAOMT, the International Academy of Oral and Medical Toxicology, where all these dentists give lectures, these are the ones who know more than the other ones. They've got some good lectures there. The quality of their lectures is kind of stinks. It's so bad it's funny. Crappy filming, crappy audio, crappy slides, and a bunch of crazy dentists. They're kind of jerky, herky-jerky in the way they move around because of the mercury poisoning. But still, some of them are real smart and have some real good lectures at IAOMT. And if you have to go to a dentist, you can go to IAOMT.org and find one who's been trained in how to safely remove mercury amalgams. So they use, they put a container over the tooth so you can't swallow it, for example. They use all these techniques to remove them in chunks rather than drill into them and stir up all that vapor. There's a lot to it. It makes a big difference in the amount of mercury the person is exposed to and the dentist is exposed to. So again, if you want to see all this stuff in 10 times as much detail, look at my long form videos. You'll find them in my playlist. And also, I did a couple chapters from the book here so far. And over at Veg Source, I got more detailed lectures on them. And then, the other thing I do to clean my teeth is I floss at night. And you want to use the cheap, crappy floss, the one with nothing on it. You don't want those gentle glide, smooth glide type flosses because they put Teflon on them, which is a fluoride polymer, and it's toxic. Then you ingest that fluoride. Fluoride's a major poison, lowers IQ, lowers fertility, increases risk of leaky gut. It's bad for the testicles. It's just bad. So anyways, that's our summary of the mouth for this part 1 of Mouth to Mitochondria lectures.